Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles 2 did have its announcement trailer, and while I'm down for it, the topic I want to discuss in this video is, are we just falling for the same cycle yet again? Now, I don't know, the same trend of anime series we like gets an anime game trailer. Most of us that like said series gets hyped for a new game. We get trailers and scans, get all excited, hype the game up even further. We buy the pre-order, or we pre-order and buy the ultimate editions, all that shit, only to play the game for a few weeks and then say the game is dead or the game just might actually end up dying. It depends on what kind of happens with the game itself. But a lot of people I see talking about this game do have a valid point that if this game doesn't cover that Infinity Castle arc in base game, which would seem unlikely right now, they better include it as a DLC arc later on, otherwise it can be an excuse to release a third game just to finish the series up. You guys remember when they did that with like Storm 3, like Naruto Storm 3, when they ended in the middle of the war because they wasn't that far in the anime or even the manga yet, or I think the manga was obviously further, but in the anime they didn't get to that point. So basically you cracked Obito's mask, but you never figured out who it was, and then he just disappeared, and then like the fight kind of ends and everybody just goes back to the village chilling and like, well, the war's on pause right now because we ran out of content. Like that was very awkward. So I wonder if they're gonna do something like that with this game, but I hope that's not the case. But again, people do say, hey, if the Infinity Castle arc is not in, base game, again, I don't see it doing that, then it has to be DLC. Otherwise, it probably would be a third game. Now, I did kind of want to see some things people were talking about on Twitter just to kind of get a gauge on like how people feel about it. So let's see if we go off of this comment. Let's see. I mean, the first one is unfinished, so I'm kind of worried about this one, but nonetheless, I'll give it a shot because it's Demon Slayer, but I can't take any more of these Naruto Storm simulators anymore. Okay. I'm gonna say this, right? You can't, yes, CC2 is doing it, and I'm not gonna lie, when I initially played the first Demon Slayer game, it did give me like Storm vibes, but of course, I mean, that's kind of the systems they perfected, and I like that they did that. It's not an entirely Storm clone, but there is some aspects that I can get the little comparison to Storm. I mean, granted, it's, again, same people made it. So that's not really like a bad thing, because Storm, a lot of people would at least say that in terms of arena fighters, Storm is probably one of the better ones compared to a lot of other stuff that comes out. So I don't really see that as a negative, but maybe I'm biased. I am a Storm player, so who knows? More people. Shonen games. Okay, let's see. I can't think of another game that plays like Naruto Storm unless every arena fighter is Naruto. Yeah, then that means every arena fighter is actually Gundam versus yeah. I can't take any more Storm simulators. I'm gonna buy because of Demon Slayer. Yeah. Actual hypocrite. This is true. This is very fucking true. Now, I kind of want to go back to this point of the game was unfinished. The first one was. Yeah, I can kind of see the point, but I don't necessarily agree with it because, one, I mean, when the game did come out, I was mad because there wasn't spectating, and it's weird that endless isn't really a thing, especially in an anime arena fighter or just fighting games in general. When there's no like spectating killing the hill off rip, it was just annoying as hell. So again, I hope the second one launches with that. Please, please. That should not be a feature that gets added in later. Like, it's a fighting game, add in spectating with friends off rip. It should not be that difficult. But regardless of that, to say it's unfinished, I definitely kind of disagree with that. But I will say that since it's the first one in the series, I give it a little bit of slack. But at the same time, even though I enjoyed playing it, I just didn't stay and play it that long. I felt like once you kind of got a good understanding of the characters, there wasn't a lot that you could really do. I still had fun playing it from time to time, but I only really came back when a new character came out. We'd play it for a little bit, me and my friends, and then kind of disappear. But it is what it is. Nintendo Switch users booting up the game. Honestly, that's another thing too. The fact that it is coming out on the PS4 and Nintendo Switch is very kind of odd, because it's like, okay, look, if you are gonna, continue doing the series, which I don't think is a bad thing, making another game, bro, just go full PS5. That's what we had issues with the other one, with the frame rates and delay. God, please don't have any input delay, because that was probably another reason why I just wasn't really having the most fun with it. But yeah, having that on the Switch and PS4, it's just, bro, it's 2024 going into 25. What are we still doing releasing on the PS4 and Switch? Now, Switch like makes sense if it's like Switch themed games, but not this one. And this is one of the points I was talking about. So I'm guessing Infinity Castle will most likely be DLC unless this game drops late 2025. Doubt. And that's definitely kind of a point that I was worried about as well, because unless it's DLC or base game, well, I don't see much of a point of trying to extend it into a third game, bro. You might as well just add as DLC. But that's kind of the point a lot of people had with what's being made now for the second one, because like they could have just made a DLC pack, added all these characters and the arc, and called it a day. And for the most part, they're not entirely wrong, especially since it still is on PS4 and PS5 anyway. Doesn't really change much, but I mean, they're adding hopefully more mechanics to make the gameplay better, because like how a Storm, every other game had something new and took something away. Hopefully they add some new things that are cool and interesting, but also don't take away, you know, things that people actually enjoyed in the first game. So Hinokami will cover the infinite. Yeah, we'll see. The cycle continues. Okay, I don't know. Let me know how y'all feel about My Heroes 1 Justice. I actually liked the first one, you know, a little bit. Obviously the second one was better, and that's what I'm saying. It's kind of that cycle of, yes, you're kind of buying the same shit again. I mean, granted, Call of Duty has been doing that for how many fucking years now? But besides that, you're buying the same shit, but they do try to improve it, and either obviously the roster's gonna be expanded upon it, add some more story shit. It's the typical shit you expect, but you know, it is what it is. Actually, let's see what this guy says about this, or what does this mean? Is that the second Arena Fighter is unnecessary secret where they could have added more DLC and expect? Yes, in this case, they could have just added more, especially since it's still on PS4. But again, I'm not seeing much of a downside to it right now, at least. It's gonna be like 5 new characters. Yeah. I can't even say nothing else to that. No one asked for this, Cap. That, you know, I usually don't say this, but that's definitely like a cope. Delusional type shit. Oh my god, shout out to Rose if he ever sees this shit. But nah, this would be a moment where I'm like, hey, no, it's valid to say this shit, because to say no one asked for this, bro, if you're a Demon Slayer fan and you like the first one, you probably want a second one or more DLC for the first game. So like, even if you didn't like the game, doesn't mean you gotta shit on it. Be like, man, nobody asked for this shit. Like, somebody out there asked for it. You probably don't know them, but somebody wanted it. So it's a second game and not an update. Oh well, still getting it. Now, this comment right here is a mentality I hate when it comes to anime games, just because the fact of a game will come out, like I said, it'll be just because it has an anime series that we like on the box, we buy it because it's like we enjoy that series, especially if it just came off of like the height of its like popularity at least. So JJK season 2 or whatever like that was popping. When they announced the Cursed Clash game, I'm not gonna lie, yes, I fell for it. I was one of those where I was like, bro, I am so JJK thirsty right now, I'll buy this fucking game and have fun. I did have a little bit of fun, but that game died. I played that game the first week it came out, played it 2 more times after that, and never touched it again. And so that's what I'm saying, we gotta get in this cycle where sometimes we just buy shit because, and again, most of you watching, obviously old enough, you got a job, you can afford spending 60, 80 bucks on a game for the most part. I don't know, maybe you can't, I'm not judging. But I'm saying that obviously you are in a different time where you can just pick up a game whenever you want. But is it worth you putting your hard-earned money on a game that you're gonna drop in like the next 3 days or 2 weeks anyway? But I mean, hey, if you're getting your enjoyment out of it, it is what it is. You can spend that money at a fucking movie theater and only get enjoyment for 2 hours. But I mean, if you're playing a game that you spent 60 bucks on and you only play it for like 3 weeks and then maybe 2 months later play with some friends again, you're getting something out of it, right? I just kind of hope for more. Please don't tell us this goes from the train arc to the training arc, only because that would mean waiting the 3rd game to play it. Yeah, that's like I said earlier, that's something to exactly worry about for sure. If this doesn't lead to the final arc, it doesn't lead to the final arc being a DLC earlier on, there's no point in it. Yep, see, that's a very valid point. Can't wait to find easy ass combos in a few hours and nothing barely changed beside adding new characters and stages. Unfortunately, that's probably the case. I hope that's not. I really do hope that the combat has some more stuff to it. And I'm not gonna act like Storm, because I know someone gonna be like, how you gonna say that? But Storm has like the same 3 combos and it's a button match. Like, okay, well, first of all, no, like Storm, there is some like, in terms of combo cancels, I'm not saying there's not combo cancels in this game. There was some saucy stuff you can do in the Demon Slayer game, but I feel like in terms of like Storm tech compared to like Demon Slayer tech, you would max out the Demon Slayer tech relatively quick compared to like Storm games where people were always finding something new to do or some bullshit tactics and shit like that. Obviously there was busted shit, but there was something always new. And I feel like after playing Demon Slayer for a while, I kind of hit the peak. This could have been a DLC pack, but it looks good. Hopefully it won't be banned as fast as the first one. That is another thing, is releasing these games, doing the first pack of DLC or characters, whatever, and then just like, oh, okay, well, on to the next game we're going to release. And that's what the problem is when I say it's a cycle where a game will come out, we'll play it, and they know we'll buy it because we're anime fans. Like, and that's not like against, I mean, it is against us because we keep buying the shit. But at the same time, it's like, we buy these games knowing that we're fans of the series and we just want to enjoy playing in that world or that series or whatever, enjoying the gameplay and having fun with friends, whatever. But then the game doesn't kind of meet our expectations, at least to a decent level, and so we get disappointed. But at that point, they already got majority of our money. We already bought the DLC, we pre-ordered. They don't really have to keep going. All they're doing is preparing the next one because we're gonna keep buying this shit. And so it is that endless cycle where they're like, yeah, they hate it, but we'll just, all the stuff they're complaining about, unless we, we decide to patch it in the current game, we'll just make it, fix it in the third one. Or yeah, we'll just adjust it and fix it in the third game and they'll buy it again. I cannot wait to buy mid again. Ooh, God, that's a comment. That is a comment. But yeah, this is just some of the shit people were saying. I'm excited for this game to see. Why would you put it on PS4 and Nintendo Switch when this last time y'all did this, the game kept glitching and breaking? Yeah. At first it was solid with a lot of problems. Got fixed later, but it was too late. That's another thing. I'm sorry if I'm just kind of like rambling on this video, but I just kind of wanted to get some points on it. That is another thing for sure. The fact that they will kind of release the game, fix the problems, but the fix the problems to the point where like if they don't step on it, I'm not saying like if there's glitches and shit they're going to be able to fix it the next week or some shit, but when there's enough problems in the game and then they fix it like 4 months, 5 months later, at that point most people moved on. They're like, look, this game's pissing me off, these issues that is enjoying my experience or like messing up my experience, why am I gonna keep playing this shit? I'm gonna go play freaking Marvel Rivals. And then they leave. And then you update the game, but then no one really comes back. Sometimes they do. I'm not saying people don't come back, they do because they like the game, but sometimes it's just not enough to fully bring a resurgence to the game, Like Storm Connections, that shit's dead right now. I'm hoping for a season 2, but they've been quiet. So either season 2 is going to pop up with some insane shit, or they just moved on and they're done. So I hope that's not the case, but this isn't a Storm video, so I'm gonna leave that alone. We'll do one more comment. One more. Eek. That one didn't count. Y'all better not let this game die again. No more letting actually good games die in big IPs, that sucks. Letting those games die in true games such as Demon Slayer actually flourish. A little all over the place with this comment, but no, there's heart in it. There's definitely heart. Oh, my boy Tengen. I'm definitely maining Tengen. Well, I'm actually main Zenitsu, but Zenitsu and Tengen are my team. Regardless, yeah, don't let the game die, please. I think that's the thing. Is why the fuck is Megan Fox trending? I don't. Okay, that's a whole off the wall. Where the fuck did that come from? But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Let me know how you guys feel. Do you feel like they might be cooking? Oh, this is the last comment. Bleach, Sparking Zero, Hunter x Hunter, Storm Connections. Now this is truly a crazy time to be an anime game fan. Holy shit. Now this is definitely a comment for sure. I definitely don't disagree with it. If you're like, because here's the thing, regardless of if the games come out good or bad, the fact that we're getting a good amount of anime games still, and they're mainly, yes, arena fighters. Not everybody loves arena fighters. Like I do agree with, there should be some variations to these games, but for the most part, yes, it is cool. Like if you're a Bleach fan, I know you guys are finally happy. You guys got like a game, something that's not a mobile game. So you're probably gonna like pray that the game is good, and even though it has issues, you're gonna just wait for it to get fixed because you want a good Bleach game, and I respect that. Sparking Zero, this patch is supposed to be coming out sometime this month. And then I'll probably hop back on the game. It's still a fun game to play from time to time. And again, when I say shit like this, I'm not trying to be a downer and just like ruin your enjoyment. If you enjoy the game and you're having fun, cool. I'm just saying for me, because my friends, we get on at like random times. Most of the time, if I get home, I'm probably playing Sparking on like ranked or something, because again, there's not really much else to do in the game. And I get on play ranked. That shit is so depressing that I'm like, you know what? I want to enjoy my night. I'll find anything else to do. So no, and I'm not even Storm Connections. I'm more of a Storm guy than like, or Naruto guy more than Dragon Ball. And Storm Connections, I don't even really play that much these days because Mari, like certain supports, the way people play. I mean, the rage quitting got fixed, thank God, but they fixed it in a time where like I'm still like the same 13 people playing the game, so it don't even fucking matter. But anyway, we go on the Storm route with Demon Slayer. I guess we might get a third game as well, just for an arc or two. Yeah, I hope that's not the case, but you never know. Anyway, guys, this is just some of the stuff people have been saying. I just kind of wanted to talk about it, give it a little discussion on it, because again, I like discussing stuff like this. Do you guys, like, I don't know, what's your thoughts? Are you happy there's a new Demon Slayer game? Are you disappointed that they didn't just make it DLC for the first game? Disappointed that since it's PS4 and Switch as well, that there's going to be some, I don't know, potential issues. But besides that, if there's anything else you want to say about the game, let me know. We can discuss in the comments. I just, again, wanted to put my thoughts out here on this. If you guys enjoyed the video, well, you know, give it a like. Let me know what you think. Subscribe if you enjoy discussion content, I guess. We'll definitely try to keep doing these. I'm trying to, like, think of a solid system for these going forward. Just make it more engaging and entertaining. I don't know. I'm still, like, messing around with shit in the background. But that is besides the point. I appreciate you watching this video. And let me know, are we still continuing this cycle? We're just going to buy it because Demon Slayer's on it? Or are you like, you know what? No, fuck this. They're not getting my money until that shit's on sale. Chris Rogue here. See you guys in the next one.